Hello, guys. This is going to be a very different video. I've never really done anything even remotely close to what I'm about to do, but I need to get my thoughts out of me. For those of you who don't know who I am, if this somehow blows up, my name is Platty. I am a new VTuber using a temporary model until my model is finished, close to somewhere in the middle of September, and then I'm going to be going for my debut on my birthday for my birth debut on November 3rd later this year. But that's neither here nor there. 2 days ago, I learned about Gawr Gura announcing their graduation from May 1st, and it's kind of eating me up. Which is weird because before this year, I wasn't in the VTubing scene much at all. My experience with VTubing went from I know who Gura is, I know what the term graduation is after a minor scare about Amelia Watson. I saw a tribute to Amelia Watson, the time traveling detective, and every comment and everything in the video made it seem like they passed away. And I was sad, and then I looked more into it because I wanted to find out how they passed. And it turned out they graduate. I was like, okay, well, what is graduating? And it's basically when somebody who is a part of an organization retires, they are no longer a part of the organization. They're just an affiliate, and they're not going to be streaming anymore. There's not going to be any new content. But it went from knowing who Gura is, knowing what graduation is, to the few VTubers that would send me occasionally, regularly pop up on my For You page on TikTok. And I would follow them within the confines of TikTok, but nowhere else. And my reaction to Gawr Gura graduating went from what would have been shock, because Gawr Gura is the face of VTubing. I would have just been really shocked and surprised that Gawr Gura, of all people, is ending, to now, after a snowball of events out of my control at this point happened, suddenly my reaction is that I'm not ready for it. I don't want this to happen. And I'm happy for Gura. I'm very happy that they are taking steps to put their life in a direction that they want. But it doesn't make it... And while I'm happy for them, and I want them to be happy and succeed in their own way, it doesn't make it any easier to say goodbye to a character that I wish I had gotten to know. I wish that I had taken the plunge all those years ago. It is my biggest regret in life to have not followed Gura as it happened. And suddenly, I just find myself lost because it's kind of like whiplash with how fast these emotions have happened and her announcing this. And to explain that, I'm going to give a very brief history as to why I feel this way. I'm going to do my best to wrap it up fast. It started, and for those of you who know Hollow, this date I'm about to say is going to hurt. But it's happened on January 3rd. Oh, I need to finish watching that later. It happened January 3rd when Fauna graduated from Hollow themselves. And for those of you who like a good cry, I would genuinely recommend going and finding Fauna's Farewell video and going in and starting at 2 hours 34 minutes when they say the actual goodbye speech. It was a tearjerker for me, and I didn't even know the person. I found out about Fauna through a TikTok video comment talking about their graduation. And for me, whenever I find out somebody graduates, I'm always like, oh, I wonder how far away I was, how long ago this happened, how much time passed, how much I missed it by. And for some people, I missed it by a week or a month. But with Fauna, it said streamed live less than 2 hours ago, or streamed live 2 hours ago, or something like that. I missed them by mere hours. And just that, how close I was, hit so hard that even though I didn't know them, I was sad. I was extremely, extremely sad that I missed it by so little. So I went into the video, I hit the 9 on my keyboard, and I watched the final 16 minutes of them saying goodbye. And I still haven't watched the full thing. I'm not mentally ready to say hello, goodbye. I'm not. But this person is extremely kind. I can tell by the little bit that I've watched them. They loved their audience. Their audience loved them. They had such an angelic voice. They are a very good person. And I missed out on knowing this person by 2 hours. And yeah, I wouldn't have known them if I had been in there long enough to say goodbye. But I missed out on being able to see them live. I'm never going to have a chance to see them live again. I missed out on that chance by 2 hours. And it broke me. I think it's kind of funny because people say that fauna after graduation became Nimi Nightmare and they're just live right now. That timing is kind of funny to me. If you guys know who Fauna is and you haven't heard, people are pretty convinced that Nimi Nightmare was Fauna. But yeah. I'm one of them. I'm pretty sure that it is. After missing the graduation from so little, I'm not ashamed to admit this because you are allowed to feel however you feel about anything. Your emotions, no matter how childish some people might say they are valid. You're allowed to feel what you feel about anything. And I'm not gonna lie, having missed him by so little, I became really sad for the next week. I was extremely in my feels for that week, and it was so weird to me that I was feeling this affected by someone I did not know. And all of that changed when I was doom scrolling TikTok one night and found Kichan. January 10th, 2025 will forever hold a very important place in my life because it was the catalyst to so many things. I discovered Kichan through the first ever TikTok live, which feels like fate, by the way, that it happened like that when it did. I went and I joined the Discord. I'm a semi-active member of the community still. I still go in there and I talk to people, but not as much as I did that first month. But I watched their TikTok live and got to know them. They got to know me a little. And then when they ended that, they said that they were going to be going live again in 3 hours. So I watched them from 1 to 4, took a 3-hour break, and then I watched them again from 7 in the morning to 10 in the morning. I have a bad sleep schedule. That's not like an insane thing. Like, I would actively have been going to bed at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning at that point in time in life anyways. So me staying up to see the beginning of the stream was nothing. That was just par for the course for me being awake. But then the more I watched, I was like, I'm just going to make tonight my all-nighter night. I'm going to watch their entire stream and then vibe with people in their Discord afterwards. And during their live, I kept on talking, and it was actually during this live on YouTube. I kept on talking to them, and I had such a good back and forth, by the way, with them, that people who had never been in their streams before saw how they were reacting to me and how I was talking to them, and they thought that I had been there with Kichan since the beginning, and that I was like a regular and an active member. Like, it was kind of insane how well I bounced back and forth with Kichan. But I digress. But one of the people in there, Fauna was their Kamiyoshi. And they mentioned that they missed Fauna and all that, and I took that as an opportunity to talk about it myself, saying how I missed him by a couple of hours, and I regret not getting to VTubing as a whole, and because of that regret, I'm not letting another opportunity pass by. So that's why I was so active with Kichan in that stream. And I told them, yeah, I'm gonna be sticking around. I don't want to have any more regrets, and I want to follow and support you. And to this day, Kichan holds a very, very important place in my life as a whole, because during that, they kind of like helped me mentally get past my funk with the whole fauna thing, and eventually helped me realize, wow, VTubing is really cool. Watching these people live, I want to become a VTuber. And now I'm, again, debuting later this year. I'm using this temporary model, for crying out loud. Like, this isn't even a full model. This is a... Oh, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. This is a half model that somebody that I like, that somebody I know through other people just gave to me. Just because they made it years ago and it was collecting dust. They were like, hey, you can just use this. You don't even need to credit me. I tried so hard to say I want to credit you. And they don't want the credit. They don't want to be out there. So, to the person who did that, if you see this, thank you. I do like this model. If I didn't already have plans for the model that I'm getting, I would use this until something in the future. I would be perfectly fine using this my whole life. But, I digress. Look at me saying I'm going to make this fast. Okay, let's wrap this up. After that, Keychon kind of put me in a better place, and I was like, okay, no matter what happens in life, I don't have these regrets anymore because I'm finding new people to put my energy into. 2 days later, Gawr Gura, after a decent hiatus, was live again, playing me side. Literally 2 days later. And I was like, oh my, what are the chances of this timing? That's insanity. And I was super, super happy because I had a chance to actually get to know Gura. And I had been in their lives a few times since then. But somehow, something happened between Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes and now. And somehow YouTube unsubscribed me from Gura. I did not unsubscribe from Gura. I haven't unsubscribed from anyone this year. But I somehow got unsubscribed. And because of that, I didn't hear about the announcement until after it happened. When I was doom scrolling TikTok again. Yeah, I doom scroll a lot. Don't at me. And I saw a video where it was just a screenshot of this phrase. And for those of you who don't know, this specific phrase is synonymous with I'm graduating. It might as well say I'm graduating. I'm leaving, I'm done. Something like that. And I saw that and I was like, no, this is not happening. This is not happening. And I went over and I watched this and I teared up. I cried. I'm not even going to lie. Not like full on crying, but I was like very emotional over it. I knew that it was never going to happen, but with me debuting this year, my biggest goal was that one day, maybe, just maybe, I would reach the height to be big enough that Gura would even comment on a video or join a live for a second, that I would see their name attached to anything I've ever done. And now that opportunity is leaving. If I ever want that to happen, I have until March 1st when they are done making appearances on anything. And I don't think anything I do will get to that point. So now my ultimate dream with this whole VTubing thing is instantly squashed. And that hurts. That really hurts. But because of this whole fauna thing and all of these regrets, I have had so many great opportunities, from meeting Keychon and learning that I want to become a VTuber to, and this much I blame to the TikTok ban. And that was okay, Nemo, learn to say anemone. And the TikTok ban that was supposed to happen on January 19th of this year helped me find this video. Because it went from me grieving Fauna and Gura, that whole situation, to me being like, oh, this is awesome. To me grieving that TikTok was about to be gone. And I just was like back and forth roller coaster of emotions. But through it all, I found this video by Ringo Riot. I absolutely owe everything to TikTok almost being banned, temporarily being banned, because I found Ringo Riot through this. And then, because this video in specific, if you guys want to watch this video, I will link it in the description. But I went from that to when I heard that the ban was going to happen, I went to my favorites and I I started going through all my favorites, and I put all of my favorite things. I put every single VTuber thing that I've ever found, and I have to update this again, into one convenient spot. And I realized, oh, I recognize Mystic Light, and I went over and I followed them on Twitch. I recognized Mincy. I went over and followed them on Twitch. Keychan I was already following. I liked Red Autumn's reactions to a game called Me Side, which is the same game that I watched with Gura. I recognized Kitty and Yokasiri, and I recognized all these people, and I was like, I don't want to have the same regret I had for Gura with any of these people. So I went over, and I'm a part of their community. I went from having, and I recently followed Gura on Twitch. I didn't think to look there before, but I recently followed them on Twitch. They don't even go there anymore. But I now have all of these streamers that... Come on. It's not going to go down, whatever. I have all of these VTubers. I used to have maybe 10 streamers that I was following. And now I have around 100 people within the span of these last few months. And I like all of these channels. Like, I'm an active member-ish of Kitty. I'm an active member of-ish of Yura. I'm a very active member of Keychan and Mystic Light and Mincy and Ringo Riot specifically. Like, it hurts that all of this has happened. And I wish Gura the absolute best. But through all of this happening, I forgot about Gura. Partly because I was vibing with these other chats so much, and partly because they don't stream as much, and partly because I got unsubscribed from them somehow. And I'm finally getting back to the point of this video and ending it off. I went from regretting Fauna, like not having the chance to see them for even a second, to really regretting not taking the chance of watching Gura this whole time and only watching them through highlights and clips, to finding all these communities and forgetting about Gura again. And once again, I'm left regretting the time that I didn't take advantage of with Gura. And now they're graduating, and I don't know what words I can use to accurately describe how I feel about this. It's emotional whiplash, this roller coaster that I've been on this past few months. All these highs and these different highs that I never would have had, these lows that I'm experiencing. It's a lot to mentally wrap my head around. Gura, I doubt you're gonna see the title of this video. I doubt you're ever gonna hear about me as a whole. But on the chance that you somehow see this before you leave, no matter what the comment says, I would appreciate just one single letter of just an ah would make me happy. You are the short girl that I regret not getting to know. And I hope that whatever experiences may come, that you will be happy. And if you ever take up mantle as another VTuber, or if you pick up the mantle of an old VTuber that you were, because some people have that theory. I don't know if I vibe with it, but whatever happens, I wish you everything. I wish you luck, happiness, prosperity, love. I wish you it all. I hope that while you are breaking my heart and the hearts of so many others, we all just want you to be happy at the end of the day. So even if we don't get to see Gawr Gura anymore after March 1st, you have touched the lives of so many people. And somehow me as well, despite it all. Thank you for being who you were. And I'm gonna end this before I start crying on cam. because I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start tearing up, and I don't want that. So, guys, thank you for sitting here watching me ramble to nothing for the past 20 minutes. I just needed to get this out of me. And honestly, I feel a bit better already. Holy crap, 20 minutes. That's insane. That's insane. Thank you for being our shock girl.